because my mom's side of the family all came from Odessa. Their last name was Gershowitz. It was changed to Gershwin before they rose to fame, and then later on changed to Gershwin. In 1916, George began composing and plugging songs on Tin Pan Alley. Song pluggers were pianists and singers who made their livings demonstrating songs to promote sales of sheet music. Most of the music stores had song pluggers on their staff. Other pluggers were employed by publishers to travel and familiarize the public with their new publications. Among the ranks of the song publishers was George Gershwin. So we're going to start out with our first big hit. This is from 1927, but I thought it puts us in a good mood to get the program started. This is Strike Up the Band. Let me know when you're ready. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Strike up the band. What's that?
There's some applause there.
Oh, good, good, good. We like applause. Always like applause. So anyway, George's first published song was called "When You Want 'Em, You Can't Get 'Em. When You Got 'Em, You Don't Want 'Em." He did that in 1916. He was only 17 years old. It earned him 50 cents, which I imagine is probably pretty good money for a kid. In 1919, he scored his first big national hit with his song "Swanee," with words by Irving Caesar. Al Jolson heard Gershwin performing Swanee at a party and decided to sing it in one of his shows. So here we go with Swanee.
Great.
101 years old that song is.
Wow.
Yep. Okay. 1924, Gershwin composed his first major classical work, Rhapsody in Blue, for orchestra and piano. It was orchestrated by Ferdy Grofé, and it was premiered by Paul Whiteman's concert band in New York. It subsequently went on to be his most successful popular work and established Gershwin's signature style and genius in blending vastly different musical styles in revolutionary ways. So let me just play a little snippet of that, because I think a program like this would not be complete without, having a little taste of Rhapsody in Blue as well as American in Paris. there's a lot more to that, but I just wanted to give a little taste of that. Okay, 1924, that same year that he brought out Rhapsody in Blue. You'll come to find out that George Gershwin had a very short but extremely productive life. His brother Ira lived a lot longer and collaborated with others. But in that same year as Rhapsody in Blue, he and his brother Ira collaborated on a stage musical comedy called Lady Be Good. It included future standards such as Fascinating Rhythm, Oh Lady Be Good, and then they followed this with a musical called OK. Thought maybe Kay Sobel will be here today, from 1926. Funny Face from 1927. How Long Has This Been Going On? And Strike Up the Band. So here we are with Fascinating Rhythm from 1924. That was probably a tough one because of the rhythm and everything, but
Yeah.
he was a master of rhythm. Okay.
Mike,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, I hear you.
what happens as soon as you start playing, all the words go blurry. They go out of focus.
What, do
So
you
it's
have a
like
sheet
hard
in
to
front of
keep
you?
up if I don't know the words, and then I can't read them because they're out of focus.
Wow, that's weird.
But I love listening to you, so that's okay.
Oh,
I don't know, maybe reboot everything.
Anybody else having that problem?
No, I'm fine.
oh.
We're fine.
How
Maybe she
tight-
needs to reboot.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, right now, even you're coming in and out. You keep coming in, and then I lose you, and you come back, and I lose you. So
No,
I don't, now I can see the words.
Now you can see the words. As long as I'm not playing, you're doing just fine.
Now I can't.
All right, well, let's give it a try again. Here is Lady Be Good from that same year. Still blurry? I'm trying different. That was Wendy, right?
I lost you, and then they did come back on where I can read them. But that's okay. I'm just doing the best I can to hear as much as I can.
I
Okay.
just wonder, maybe she needs to reboot her whole computer.
I'd
Give it a good swift kick.
there you
Well,
go.
no, it keeps reforming. I'd
I'd reboot my trumpet, but I lost the manual.
I came into the building to listen and watch.
That same year, very prolific year, very productive year for Gershwin. We talked about Rhapsody in Blue, and he wrote of Lady Be Good. This beautiful ballad called The Man I Love. It was originally part of the score
It's on.
for this.
Don't see it, it just says your
thing
name.
called- Sorry.
Well, David, about every 2 or 3 minutes, I totally lose the connection.
Yeah, maybe you should do
And then the words, see, right now they're clear. As soon as he
Yeah.
starts to play, they'll go blurry.
Yeah.
So, but I'm set up perfectly so I can not mind missing it.
Mute
I
yourself.
love you
You
so.
didn't charge your phone.
Wendy?
Is
that Wendy?
Yes? Can you hear me? David, you might be the one counting me out. You're coming in, your office is coming in. See, that's you.
Wendy, mute yourself.
That's your room.
Wendy, mute yourself.
David, I'm here somewhere. I'm here.
We're ready to resume.
David's laying on your screen, right with me. Wait.
Okay. We're going to have to mute everybody because you're talking over the narration.
Oh, you now. See, it keeps happening. What is it? Okay, I'm just let him.
Wendy's off.
Oh. Okay.
She might be rebooting herself.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty. So, 1924, The Man I Love, beautiful ballad. It was scored for Gershwin's musical called Lady Be Good. This was originally a government satire, and it was originally called The Girl I Love rather than The Man I Love. So, you decide which one you like. This is, on my sheet, it says The Man I Love. Here we go.
I'm going to see if it's better.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. That was The Man I Love. In the mid-1920s, Gershwin stayed in Paris for a short period of time during which he applied to study composition, musical composition, with the noted Nadia Boulanger. Hey, welcome. Have a few minutes to sit and join in? Who, along with several other prospective tutors, such as Maurice Ravel, rejected Gershwin. They were afraid that the rigorous classical study would ruin his jazz-influenced style. Maurice Ravel, rejection letter to Gershwin, told him, "Why become a second-rate Ravel when you're already a first-rate Gershwin?" While there, in 1928, Gershwin wrote An American in Paris. So I'll play a little bit of that so you get a flavor of what that sounds like. recall, they made that into a movie. Gene Kelly, I believe, and Leslie Caron, one of her earliest
Yeah.
roles, right? Yeah. And of course, Oscar Levant was in that too. That was really my first experience seeing him. That guy was a little strange, but very talented. Is everybody familiar with Oscar Levant? He was a
No.
and an actor, and he had a major role in that movie American in Paris. Moving right along, 1926, we have Someone to Watch Over Me. I'm sorry, what do we have there?
No, I have, so wonderful.
Oh, sorry, I have it out of order. Oh, we didn't have Someone to
Oh.
Watch Over Me? Okay, I guess I,
Yeah, this is John.
Yeah, John. Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, hi.
I missed it. Mike, John's trying to say something.
yeah, John? John Evans?
John Holleran.
John Holloran. Yeah, hey, John, what's up?
At 3 o'clock? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
Oh, he's on the phone.
be there tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
John, mute yourself.
Okay, thanks. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you, John.
Okay, now we have
Okay.
someone to watch.
Someone to watch over me. Here we go.
I'm sorry. I thought I had my mic mute. I'm sorry.
No, this is the only mic that ever gets muted around here.
Oh. Yeah, I was on a phone call came in. I thought I muted it. I guess I'm getting
Okay.
stupid, more
Someone to
stupid,
watch
you know.
over me. Here we go. Good. I hear you all singing, which is great. That's what we want to do. We're auditioning. You probably don't know we're auditioning you for our next year's Temple Choir. This was a secret until now. Now the word is out.
Michael, I'm really enjoying your material, but I need to echo Wendy's problem. Whenever you start playing, the text gets very blurry and I can't see it.
Oh, wow.
It's happening here too.
Okay. Huh.
You're close to the computer.
Do right now. Yeah, we still have time and there's still room here at the temple. Be socially distant. Of course, in your case, it's coming from Vail, so it's a little distant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Yeah, next week.
Next week you have a movie.
That's right. Next week's a movie and hopefully it won't be blurry. Okay. This one is called Swonderful, and I don't have the words or I tell them to you so you can commit them to memory.
Wonderful.
This one's 1927. It was introduced in the musical Funny Face, starring Adele Astaire and Alan Kearns. Here we go with Swonderful.
It's marvelous.
Okay. Well, I only picked tunes that I thought you guys know, so the words are just sort of like a little bit of a crutch. So just, even if you hum them, that's fine. Okay. The next one is a ballad called How Long Has This Been Going On from 1928. Let me get my pages up here. Okay. Okay, how long has that been going on? This next one is one of my favorite ballads of the Gershwins. From 1928, I've Got a Crush on You. It was used for two different Broadway productions. One was Treasure Girl in 1928, and the next one, 1930, was Strike Up the Band. There's been recordings of this tune by singers such as Frank Sinatra, Sarah Vaughan, otherwise known as Sassy, and Ella Fitzgerald. So here we are. So what I like about this, I included the introduction because the words here are so clever. So I'm hoping you're going to be able to read the words while you're singing along. Thank you. I think I heard some clapping. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. 1930 brought a musical called Girl Crazy. George wrote the music, lyrics by Ira Gershwin, and a book by Guy Bolton and John McGowan. Ethel Merman made her stage debut in this musical production in 1930. It also turned Ginger Rogers into an overnight star. It introduced the standards Embraceable You, debuted by Ginger Rogers. Also, I Got Rhythm and But Not For Me. So here we go with But Not For Me from 1930. Okay. You may not know, but we've done these shows here in the temple a couple of years ago, and parts I'm playing were sung by Regina Ford and Joey Lessa. So try to envision them singing. Here's the ballad, Embraceable You, from Girl Crazy. Ah, here's some singing going on there. That's great. Okay, out for an upbeat little number. This is I Got Rhythm. Good. Yeah, great. I got rhythm on that one.
We knew that one.
That's a popular one. Yes, yes. I want to do my own little plug here. I mentioned, I think last week, that I have a program every day in the afternoon, and tomorrow we're going to do it at 3 o'clock so we don't interrupt the get-together we're having with all of us on Zoom at 2 o'clock. So, but every day I do popular tunes. It's on Facebook, Joyce's Facebook page on Facebook Live. You're welcome to check in and send in comments or requests. This next 2 days, I'm going to be doing a music travelogue. We're going to be traveling around the country, and we'll be doing all songs that have to do with different parts of the country. So that you can imagine California, Here I Come, Stars Fell on Alabama, New York, New York. We're going to start in Arizona, so we're going to do it very logically as any engineer would, and we're going to go all around the country, and then we're going to continue and go offshore. So I've asked quite a few tunes, and in fact, I have one of our regular listeners who lives up in Oro Valley. He sent me about 20 or so others, so we're going to be doing this for a while. Anyway, if you'd like to have, it's fun. People seem to enjoy themselves, and you check in when you have time, and you don't have time, you don't check in. We have a few of the temple members join in with us and just had to friend Joyce on Facebook. Okay. Porgy and Bess was first performed in 1935. Summertime, I Got Plenty of Nothing, and It Ain't Necessarily So were some of the big tunes from that show. The work was first performed in 1935. It was a box office failure in the middle of the Great Depression. So here we are with Summertime.
Porgy and Bess, I can't.
Hey,
I
Very
bet.
nice.
Yeah, very popular.
Very sweet.
Necessarily So, abbreviated version.
Necessarily so.
Okay. And to finish up the triumvirate of Porgy and Bess tunes, this is I Got Plenty Enough. It's very interesting. I'll tell you something. When I put this thing together, always have the music because I'm a musician, but in order to find the words, I go online and there's a number of sources, Metro Lyrics and others that have the words, but you got to be careful and look at what the words are. The last lines of that, got my gal, got my lard, got my song. Several versions said, got my lawn. So I don't know if they're hiring people from another country or whatever, but I mean, it didn't make any sense whatsoever. Yes. Okay, called the Lawnmower Song. Okay. 1924 until George's death of a brain tumor in 1937 at the age of 38, the brothers wrote almost exclusively with each other, composing over 24 scores for Broadway and Hollywood. Though they had many individual song hits, their greatest achievement may have been the elevation of musical comedy to an American art form. Okay, 1937 for the film Shall We Dance was this tune called Let's Call the Whole Thing Off. It was introduced by Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers as part of a celebrated dance duet on roller skates. Okay.
Great, that's fun.
Call the whole thing off. You say potato, I say potato. You say temple, I say shul.
Yeah.
1937, same year, brought Nice Work If You Can Get It. It's originally performed by Fred Astaire in the movie A Damsel in Distress. I don't know if you remember, but Sybil Shepherd had a TV show on a few years back, and that was her theme song, and she would always sing it at the beginning, and at the very end, she would be singing with somebody else. One time it was Tony Bennett, and etc. But I have this mind that remembers music from TV shows. 1937, A Foggy Day in London Town. This also was performed by Fred Astaire in that movie, A Damsel in Distress. So here is A Foggy Day. Okay, let's see. 1937, that same year, very prolific year for him. Unfortunately, it was the same year that, he left the earth. But anyway, this next one he wrote in that same year, They Can't Take That Away From Me. Fred Astaire in the film Shall We Dance? I think I remember seeing this on film with Fred Astaire singing and dancing.
Encore.
Encore. Okay. This next tune, same year, They All Laughed at Christopher Columbus. I found out, have any of you heard of Peter Bogdanovich, the director? Some?
No.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Peter Bogdanovich.
Yes, yes. He had a number of he had an interesting career. I think he's still around, but he started out quite young. He actually started out admiring all the great directors like Alfred Hitchcock and Orson Welles, and he actually wrote monographs about each one of them, and then learning the trade, and then went on to become a director himself. He liked a lot of women. He was married several times, and one woman he liked quite a bit was a woman named Dorothy Stratton.
Yes. Star 80.
Playmate. What's that?
Star 80.
Yeah,
That-
Star.
That's what he named her.
That's right. Well, before, unfortunately, she was murdered by her ex-husband, she started a movie that Peter Bogdanovich wrote called They All Laughed. And they used this music throughout. John Ritter was in it, as well as Dorothy Stratton and several others. I don't think it had a whole lot of popularity, but it did have this song throughout. They All Laughed. It was written in the film for the film Shall We Dance? It introduced Ginger Rogers as part of a song and dance routine with Fred Astaire. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Who has the last laugh now? That's right. Okay. Marvin Hamlish, I know you've all heard of Marvin Hamlish. He says some interesting things I'd like to quote. George was able to do a fusion, mixing a song-plugging style with symphonic composition and blending jazz rhythms into classics.
Wow.
He had this uncanny ability to fuse things he knew were part and parcel of the age with a kind of classical knowledge. He says, Marvin goes on to say, when I look at how much he did, how much he wrote, it boggles the mind how he did it. The difference is he wrote whether he was hired to or not. Most composers write because they're hired to write. George just kept on writing. Okay, this next tune from his, it got published actually after his passing, is called Love Is Here to Stay. And what's interesting, many of us think that it's called Our Love Is Here to Stay. Actually, the official title is Love Is Here to Stay. It was from the Goldwyn Follies of 1938. It was the last musical composition George Gershwin completed before his death on July 11th of 1937. Ira Gershwin wrote the lyrics after George's death as a tribute to his brother. Although George had not written a verse for the song, he did have an idea for it that both Ira and the pianist Oscar Levant had heard before his death. So here we go with Love Is Here to Stay. Okay, and I'd like to reprise. You'll see on the next screen, we're going to strike up the band again, to close out the show. And then if anybody has any comments, questions, or suggestions, we'll be happy to talk about them now. Okay, here we go.
Yay, Mike.
Great.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. And
Sure did.
well, great. Other than, working on the technical issues, which of course we're going to have, but Ruth Ann knows all about that. But, Ruth Ann's just did a great job because
She did a great job.
Without her help.
It was live TV.
Live TV,
Yeah.
just like Milton Berle and Soupy Sales.
Yeah. I remember those. I was young.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Mike.
We're all that age. So,
Mike, I want to thank you very much for this wonderful performance. And Wendy and I are wishing all of you Lashana Tova Tikatevu. I have one little quotation today. It's from Dante, La Vita Nuova.
Would be complete without your quotation. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the new life. It goes like this. The sun, and it's pretty appropriate for COVID-19. The sun ceased, and the stars began to gather, and birds dropped in mid-flight out of the sky, and the earth shook suddenly. Well, except for the sun ceasing and birds dropping out of the sky and the earth shaking, this is coronavirus. So anyway, l'chaim and Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year, and thank you all for tuning
Thank
in.
you.
Thank you, and
Thanks.
to you.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see a lot of you tomorrow at 2 o'clock on our schmooze session at
Yes.
Yeah, on Zoom.
And you might be learning how to braid hollow at the same time.
Sounds good.
I got to be somewhere tomorrow, but Friday I'll try to hook up with that.
Okay, wonderful.
All right.
Okay. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye now. Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow.